Hi, I'm Brett. Today we've got a video update on some more information on how to look after your Subaru turbo diesel. And in the next couple of minutes, we're going to talk about this pressure sensor, which is vital to providing information to the ECU on how your DPF, that's a diesel particulate filter, works. So let's just have a look at this, where this particular sensor sits on the car, and then we'll talk about what it is. So what it actually is, it sits on the block down under here, and you can see this is the top of the front of the engine here, the auxiliary drive belts, and then the bottom, right down the bottom there, is the diesel particulate filter that comes out of the turbo and around and then out the back of the exhaust. And these fittings here, you'll notice there's two steel lines that come out of the DPF, and then they convert to flexible rubber lines before they go into that sensor, which you can see now is a brand new sensor, and then it plugs into the factory engine bay harness, which then provides a signal to the ECU. So let's just have a look at this sensor in my hand, and what it does, it sits on the bottom of the block like that, and these two pipes here are pressure sensors, which provides the signal to the ECU of one is before and one is after the diesel particulate filter inside the housing itself, because that housing also holds the catalytic converter. And you might say, well, why do they go from steel to rubber and then into this? Well, being a plastic sensor and a very hot environment, you don't want it to melt. So the rubber insulates this sensor from the heat coming out of the DPF, and the initial part of the signal comes out of a stainless steel hose, which is designed to radiate the heat, and then that connects to the rubber hose, which then insulates the sensor from the heat, because these sensors inside here measures the pressure, which then allows the ECU to work out effectively one of the calculations for your soot buildup, which is the amount of contamination in the filter inside the DPF, which is the major portion of the problem that people have with the car. Now, the reason why we're talking about this sensor is over a period of time, they are known occasionally to fail, and they also occasionally can, sometimes the hoses can get damaged or blocked up. So before you ever go and replace your DPF because you think it's faulty, or before you go spending any money trying to diagnose DPF or ongoing problems, this is the part you need to check. Now, they're about $300 to $500 depending on where you are in the world that you buy them from Subaru. It is a genuine part only, and the good example on this particular car came into us with what was expected to be a faulty diesel particulate filter. The client was expecting to spend anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 on a replacement DPF, depending on whether he wanted a genuine or a non-genuine DPF. And we've gone through a whole heap of diagnostic work based on, you'll see on our other videos, and of course we checked this sensor and we found out that this is faulty. So therefore the ECU thought the DPF was faulty, and all the data out of the signal and our scan equipment was telling us it was faulty, but it was really a faulty signal from this faulty sensor that was giving us false data. So you'll find out and hear from our other videos that I always talk about data is king. Never ever go and replace parts because the scan tool says just replace it, because in this situation he had been told by another workshop, oh, you need a new DPF, because the scan tool and the ECU said it, because the scan tool misread the info, because the info was wrong because the sensor was faulty. So this is a really good example of how constantly going back and using the data, using your brain to diagnose it and analyze it, and understanding what you're looking at and saying, well, look, these signals and this information just seems ridiculously high. We've done all our normal stuff. We've eliminated the common things that we know, and therefore we've saved the client a hell of a lot of money. So therefore, from your point of view, no matter where you are in the world, I hope this information has helped you do some more diagnosis for yourself and to guide yourself on the common things of how you can save money on these cars, because if they're looked after properly, they're a fantastic engine, but they're just commonly misunderstood, or people don't diagnose the parts properly, and this is another good example of that. So let's get back and have a look, summarize again. If you've got the engine bay, intercooler, turbo compressor pipe, commonly faulty part, make sure you check that. Pipe going from the intercooler down to the throttle body under here, make sure you check that one as well, as another common faulty part. And then of course diesel particulate filter down the bottom here, which has already been replaced on this car at some stage in the past, because it's not the original factory one, and at the moment we believe it's okay. So there you have it, the Subaru turbo diesel engine. If you want some more information, contact us via Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and share it to your other friends, because we want to help you no matter where you are in the world. But for today, my name is Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.